Let's go guys, it's Raul TV, Team R4UL, your favorite YouTube mechanic back again. And what I'm doing this time around is I've got a Nissan Qashqai on a 2011 petrol one. It's the 1.6 petrol. I'm going to go ahead and replace the clutch on it, the clutch kit. Not the hardest job in the world, but I wouldn't say it's the easiest job in the world as well. Okay, if you're doing it on the floor, make sure it's nice and safe. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend you do it on the floor. You need to jack it up big time, get underneath it. So not the easiest job in the world if you do it on the floor. If you do it on the ramp, it should be a lot easier. So yeah, 1.6 petrol clutch on a Nissan Qashqai. Let's go, let's do it. Okay, the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this air filter box off. In order to do that, all it is, we just take this one off here, little clip here, another one here. Right, the next thing what we're going to do is take this little plug off. Okay, we're going to take this Jubilee clip off, or you can just take it off from that side. It doesn't really matter either side. I'll just take it off from here, it's dead easy from there. Okay, we're going to take that little 10mm nut off. Then hopefully this whole air filter box should come straight off. You don't need to undo them. I don't know why I undone them for. So anyway, let's get on it. Let's take that off, this 10mm. I'll be straight up honest with you guys. I think I've done it in the wrong order. I've took the air filter box off first, which you can, but obviously, take the air filter box off first. A little bit of a struggle. Or the best thing to do is take the battery lead off first, battery off, the bracket off for the battery, and then move the battery tray out of the way. Then hopefully get the air filter box off. Yeah, I think I've done it the wrong way around. Basically, I should have took the battery tray and battery off first, then take the air filter box off. Makes it a bit easier to, it does come out. It's a little tight squeeze, but it does come out. Right, next thing what we're going to do is take the battery off. So we're going to undo that one, undo this one, 10mm, undo that one, undo this one here, and we're going to undo these here. That's a 12mm there and a 10mm there, or 8mm, whatever it is. Take them off. Hopefully the whole battery comes off, and we'll take the battery tray off after that. Okay guys, we've took the battery off, leads off, everything off here. We'll get to this in a minute. We're going to take the ECU off, but we're not going to take the plugs off. Okay, I never ever take the plugs off, because if just say you damage the plug or damage the pins, more headache for you guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the complete ECU off. We're going to take this nut off, and as you can see there, here and here on the other side of them two, you'll have two nuts as well, 10mm nuts. So basically we're going to take them off. The whole ECU will move out of the way, and then we'll tackle the battery tray. Okay, ECU is there, as you can see there. We'll move that to a side in a minute. We're going to take this bracket off. So 10mm here, 10mm there, another one here. So that bracket will move out of the way. Then we'll take this bracket off, and we'll go from there. Right, okay, that bracket is off. We'll take the battery tray bracket off as well. This one here. 10mm there and another 10mm there. Let's go. That tray out of the way, we've got plenty of space there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to this side here, take these two little 10mm bolts off. This one and the one directly beneath that, we'll take them two off. That one and that one. So then that way, that bracket which holds the wiring loom, that will move out of the way, and then obviously out of the way. Right, as you can see there, I've took that bracket off, totally off. Them 2 bolts that go onto this water housing, but we don't need to disturb anything else. We just take them 2 bolts off, that bracket moves out of the way. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to take this bell housing bolt off there, this one here, starter motor bolt off there, this one there, and another one directly beneath that, as you can just make it out. See if I can focus, there we go, that one there, this one here. We're going to take them 3 off. Okay, and we've got another starter motor bolt underneath. It's a weird looking starter motor, the weirdest starter motor I've seen in my life actually. There's another bolt right underneath there. Okay, so we're going to take that one off as well. So first things first, let's take these 3 off. Okay guys, I've took them 3 bolts off from there. What we're going to do now is, I'll be straight honest with you, there's supposed to be a bell housing bolt there as well. For some reason this car hasn't got one, so yeah, but strictly speaking there should be a bell housing bolt there. So obviously if you have got one there, take it off. 16mm, most likely it will be 16mm. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we'll take the linkage brackets off. In order to do that, what we need to do is we need to take them torques off down there, this one, them 2 off. Okay, we need to flick them off from there, get some oil on there, okay, and flick them off. This one here, it's got a little bracket, little clip that goes over it, so we take the clip off like a horseshoe clip, as you can see there. It's not supposed to have that on. Somebody's made that basically. Yeah, somebody's made that, so we better be careful when we put that one back on. So yeah, let's take them off and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so we've took these 2 off. This one obviously somebody modified it and everything. I don't know what's wrong with this car, it's all been modified and bolts been left off and everything. This one I've took that off, put a bit of oil on there and just flick that one off. We're going to go ahead and take this bolt off and this bolt off. It's an E12 Torx. You need to get basically one of them, the star ones. Let's go ahead and take them 2 off. Okay, linkage bracket is off. I've tied it up there, as you can see there. Just tie it up to one of the brake pipes, cable tie. What we're going to do now is this wire here, I think it's for the speedo obviously. We're going to go round this way here, in there, and as you can see there, we've got a little 8mm bolt which I've took off a little bit. We're going to take that off. Little bracket basically, a little cover that goes over the plug. So there'll be an 8mm there, another 8mm on the bottom. We'll take that off and then we'll go from there. Right, as you can see there, this is all freestyling. It must be just held on with something on the bottom. So anyway, that's all freestyling. Everything else on the top is done, you could say that. Yeah, everything else is done, besides taking the hydraulic pipe off that goes onto the slave cylinder. Okay, the concentric slave cylinder that is, and the mounting. So besides them 2 things, everything else is off on the top. Right, let's send it up. Let's tackle the bottom. Let's go. Right, okay guys, as you can see here, I've sent the car up on the ramp. Took the wheels off. Obviously I'm not going to show you how to take the wheels off, just take the wheel nuts off, basically 21mm. We're going to go ahead and take this cover off. It's supposed to have little clips on there, but mine has got cable ties. Somebody's cable tied it and everything. So yeah, this car's not been really looked after basically, has it? So it's got cable ties on them. I'm going to cut the cable ties off. It's got a few little bolts there, one there, one there. Yeah, and that's about it. I think it's been in an accident or something, this car. But anyway, that's for another day. Let's take this cover off, which is half off anyway, and we'll go from there. Okay, the bottom cover is off, as you can see there. We're gonna go around to this side here, and we're gonna take the wheel latch cover off. Well, not all of it. I mean, you don't have to take all of it off. Or if you want to, you can do. So basically, these little push-on clips, there, everywhere. They go little Phillips screws all the way around. Some push-on clips. If you want, you can take the full wheel latch cover off. That way it's totally out of the way. I think it's a good idea to actually take the full wheel latch cover off. So let's get on it. Let's go ahead and take the full wheel latch cover off. Let's go. Okay guys, sit rep. As you can see here, I've took the cover off, the wheel latch cover off, half of it. I couldn't be asked taking that bit off. I mean, enough space there, right? We can see the gearbox and everything. We can gain access to everything. So we don't need to take the full lot off, you know, less things to take off, you know, less things to put back on. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to send it up a little bit more, and we'll go underneath the car. Okay, the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to drain the gear oil. So basically you need one of them, square, size 8. Okay, if you can focus this, square, size 8. I've already cracked it, so anti-clockwise, take that off. get a drum or something to catch the oil, and yeah, let's drain it. Okay guys, the oil has been drained. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the ball joint off. Take the ball joints off here, the nut and bolt, basically take them off. So on the passenger side, we're going to take the drive shaft off. We're going to try to take the drive shaft off, and on the driver side, we're going to leave the drive shaft on. Okay, so as you can see there, I've got the spanner on there, just trapped against that, so basically then it can't move anywhere. 18 mil on this side, 18 mil on this side as well. Let's go ahead and take that off. So we're going to take this one off. We're going to go to this side as well, take that off as well, and we'll go from there. Okay, as you can see there, both ball joint bolts are off, this one and this one. What we're going to do now is we're going to go around to this side here. We'll go ahead and take the center nut off. I think it's a 32 or a 30 socket. Let's whiz that off. Let's go. Right, center nut is off. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the ball joint out of the hub. So basically, there's no nice way to do this basically. Get a little chisel in there, spread that little hub there, and then obviously it should come off, or give it a hit on the hub, ball joint splitter, things like that. I'm just going to get a little chisel in there, or a screwdriver in there, and hopefully it should just pull straight down. Let's go, let's do that. Okay guys, as you can see there, I've took the ball joints off and everything. Drive shaft is out of the hub. This side, on the passenger side, I've took the full drive shaft off. As you can see there, well, I flicked it off, as you know, I showed you guys, just to get a pry bar and flick it off. It should come straight off. Ball joints off. This side is done and dusted. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take this bracket off. I've already started taking it off. 13 mil, so two 13 milli bolts. Take them two off. This little bracket should come straight off. Drop the nut as well on the floor, but don't worry about that. Okay, this bracket that goes around the drive shaft on the inside, take that off, and we'll go from there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little hit on the drive shaft there, on this joint, on the inner joint, so it should come straight out. This full drive shaft should come straight out. And I know I said a lie to you guys that don't take the drive shaft off on the driver's side, but if it's coming off, take it off. If it doesn't come off, then obviously you just have to struggle and just try to move it off the gearbox, kind of thing. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give it a little hit there. Hopefully that comes off, and then we'll go ahead and take this bracket off, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, ta-da, the drive shaft is off on the driver's side as well. You can leave this bracket on there actually. I don't know why I said take it off. You don't have to take it off. If you want to, you can do, but it's not going to do you any, it's not going to benefit you in any way. So basically we took the drive shaft off, that's out of the way. We're going to go ahead and take this little bracket off. Remember on the top, we took the top bolt off. Okay, 8 mil, there's another 8 mil there. Let's go ahead and take that off. Underneath that there'll be a little speedo drive wire or crank sensor wire. Take that off. Right, that little cover is off. As you can see there, we've got a little wire there that goes onto a crank sensor. Take that wire off. Okay, we're going to go around to this side now, and we're going to take this wire off as well. Take that one off. We'll take that earth strap off there. 13 mil. Take that off. If that wire is off and the earth strap is off on that side, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the bottom bell housing bolts off, and one of the starter bolts that goes on this side, as you can see there, just there, we're going to take that off. So take that starter bolt off. That was a 16 on this side there, and then we're going to leave one bolt on. Okay, leave it slackened, but leave it on. That'll be our last bolt. We'll use this one as the last bolt. We're going to take this one off, this one off, this one off, another one there, and another one up there. Okay, take these, few of these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them off totally, and we'll leave this one on. And yeah, let's go. Right guys, as you can see there, I've took all the bell housing bolts off except for one. We're going to keep that on. That's our last bolt. All these are off along the side and everything. We've got this bottom starter motor bolt off as well. Okay, that's off. what we're gonna do now is, you know, I said I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Okay, we're gonna cheat a lot actually on this one, and yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna take the subframe off at all. We're not gonna lower it on one side or nothing like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it as it is. Okay, we're gonna send the car down, take the top mounting off. We're gonna put a little block there, so basically it rests against the block. Okay, and then we'll send it up, jack it up, take the mounting off, center mounting off, take the top mounting off obviously on the top, take the center mounting off, and then basically we're gonna take the gearbox off and we're just gonna rest it on the subframe. That's what we're gonna do. So that way we don't need to take the full subframe off. Happy days. Let's go. Okay guys, so this is the plan. As like I mentioned, we're gonna cheat a little bit. We're not gonna take the subframe off. So we've got a jack on there, okay, with a block going onto the engine and gearbox. We're gonna take the mounting off from the top, lower it down a little bit, and I'll show you what to do after. But first things first, we're gonna take this hydraulic pipe off, the one that goes onto the slave cylinder. Take that off, and then obviously yeah, we'll go from there. Okay guys, we've took the mounting off. Obviously I didn't show you exactly how to take it off, but basically we took them 3 bolts off, 16 mil. We had 2 18 mils here, one there and one there. Okay, and then we had one 16 mil that goes through the middle nut. Okay, we took them off. It was still stuck onto the mountain, so give it a little hit, it comes off. Happy days, that's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to lower it. Okay, we're going to lower the gearbox, so then that way it rests here onto this piece of wood here, and then that way we'll send it up. We've still got the center mounting on, the stabilized mounting, so you can't really go anywhere. So yeah, well, let's lower the jack onto there. Happy days, let's go. Okay guys, sit rep, we've sent it up, move that block out of the way. We've got the gearbox lift on there now. It can't really go anywhere now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this bolt off, this one off, 18, 18, take that off as well. This mounting out of the way totally, and then that's about it. Basically we've got a last bolt here. Take that last bolt off, and then we're gonna lower it down a little bit and rest the gearbox onto the subframe. Take the clutch off. Let's go. Okay guys, ta-da! There we have it. The gearbox is separated from the engine. Happy days. Look at this. This is why I said we're going to cheat a little bit, because look, that is rested there, no problem whatsoever. We can get our hands in there, get to the bolts and everything, no problem whatsoever. It's not even a dual mass flywheel on this one because it's a petrol, so we don't need to go ahead and you know, replace the flywheel. Just take the clutch off. Let's bang the new clutch on. Let's go. We've got the new concentric slave cylinder coming as well, so we need to replace that. I think this is one shortcut you guys need to take, because taking the subframe off, you can do it that way, but it's really hard, more things to take off, rusty, rotten bolts. This way, gearbox is out of the way, clutch is, as you can see, I can get my hand in there, no problem whatsoever. Also, to make it double safe, 100% safe, you can get a bungee cord. I've got a bungee cord just to, I mean, you don't have to if you haven't got one, you don't have to, but to make it 100% safe, bungee cord onto the bell housing there, round the hub, you can't even move anywhere. Right, let's go ahead and take this clutch off. To take the clutch off, these bolts here, they are 12 milli bolts. We're going to take these 12 milli bolts off. Taking it off, no problem. To refit it, we have to hold the engine, because to refit it, it's a timing chain driven engine, and what's going to happen is the engine's going to turn counterclockwise, and it might mess the timing up. The timing chain might jump, so we need to take these off. 12 milli bolts, take them off. Let's go. Right, there we have it, clutch is off, happy days. What we do is we give it some sanding down on the flywheel. Okay, get rid of all the the burnt and everything. Like, give it a clean out and sanding down. Right, emery cloth. We're gonna go to this side here, and we can see the concentric slave cylinder. So what we'll do is we'll just 10 mil bolts, 2 bolts basically, one here, another one directly on top there. Take that off, and then the slave cylinder should just come straight out. Ta-da! Let's go. All right, guys, there we have it. We've got the new clutch here. You can't really get it wrong because it says gearbox side. Okay, so the gearbox side goes onto the gearbox side. There's the new clutch. The new friction plate is slightly smaller. I mean, it's the same size as the old one, but the pressure plate is slightly bigger. Okay, so don't look into that. It is supposed to be like that. I rang LUK and everything. They said it's supposed to be like that. It's been modified. So yeah, let's get this on. Let's go. Right, so as you can see there, I've got the clutch in there. Obviously, I had to put it in there and get a few bolts on so I couldn't, you know, I couldn't show you and do it at the same time because I needed 2 hands to do it. So get the bolts on, clutch bolts on. Don't tighten up on them just yet. I'm going to get the clutch lining up tool on there. If you haven't got a clutch lining up tool, then I suggest you get one. I mean, or use the old-fashioned way, a stick in there or an extension in there just to line it up basically. So get them bolts on. Right, okay, there we have it. I've got the clutch lining up tool in there. I mean, it's just basically one of them, okay, and it goes in there into the input shaft. So basically it goes in there like that. So that should be lined up now. We'll go ahead and tighten the bolts up. Okay, and another top tip that I'm going to mention, the friction plate, right, make sure you try it on the input shaft, okay, because I mean, if you go ahead and fit in everything on and all that, and then it doesn't fit, it doesn't go into there, then you're gonna have big trouble. You have to take everything back off again. So make sure you try the friction plate on there, okay, onto the input shaft. Then if it's okay, then happy days. That's good. Okay, so as for the torque settings, if you just go onto the technical data, auto data, they should give you the correct torque settings for these bolts. Okay, if you don't want to use the torque settings, which I'll be straight honest, I don't really use it. I just make sure I lock the flywheel up. Lock the crank pulley up and then basically tighten it up, just proper tight. The thing is, make sure you do lock the flywheel or the crank pulley up, because we're going to go, when we tighten it up, the engine's going to turn anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, and we don't want the timing chain to jump or anything like that. So make sure we do lock that up, and yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go. Alright guys, there we have it all on. Obviously I didn't show you how I tightened it up and everything. Basically just tightened up with the ratchet, put it on with the normal electric ratchet first. If you haven't got electric ratchet, just do it with the normal ratchet, no problem. Or you can even do it with a spanner if you've got a spanner, whatever you've got. We'll get the concentric slave cylinder back on there, get the gearbox back on. Okay, we've got the slave cylinder back on there, clutch is back on there. Right, that's it. Let's get the gearbox back on. What we're going to do is make sure you have the bolts, everything ready to hand, because you don't want to be looking for the bolts when you get the gearbox married up to the engine. So yeah, let's do it. Right, there we have it guys. The gearbox is back in there. We've got a few bell housing bolts on, so it's secure and everything. 2-man job. I mean, if you want to do it by yourself, if you're feeling strong, you can do it, because we didn't take the gearbox out totally. But 2 people will be, will be better. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the drive shafts in there. I'm going to get the drive shaft on that side, get the center mounting on. Remember, we put a block there. We'll put a little block there as well, and then drop it onto the block, then put the top mounting on. Basically, in reverse order, let's refit everything. Let's go. Okay guys, I would say 99% of everything is done underneath. All we need to do is put the wiring plug on for the crank sensor, a few little bits and bobs and everything. But yeah, most of it is done underneath. We've sent the car down. Okay, we're going to put the top mounting on, finish everything up off on the top, most of the things, bleed it, see if it bleeds through, because that's the main thing. I would recommend put the mounting on and bleed it, because if you put everything back on and then find out it doesn't bleed properly, or you've got no clutch pedal, then you have to take everything back off again. So first things first, we'll put the mounting on, secure the engine, secure the gearbox, and then we'll go ahead and bleed it, okay, and see what happens after that. Let's go. Okay guys, one little top tip that I forgot to mention: make sure when you're putting the mounting back on and everything, make sure you put the hydraulic pipe, you know, the one that goes onto the slave cylinder, it goes on the side, as you can see there, side of the mounting, underneath the mounting. Don't put the mounting on that, you're going to find out that the the pipe doesn't go on. You have to take the pipe totally off to get it back on. So yeah, so just make sure it goes underneath. As you can see there, it goes there. And if you go this way here, it goes along the side of the gearbox. Yeah, just bear that in mind, that's all. Okay guys, sit rep, what you need to make sure is when you're putting this pipe on, the hydraulic pipe on, make sure you hold it here with something. Okay, so make sure you hold it like that, okay, and then push the pipe in. These clips here, just lift them up a little bit and then just push the pipe in, because I couldn't show you, I needed both hands to do it. Hold it there and push the pipe in, because if you just push the pipe in and you end up breaking it on the inside, and then obviously you have to take everything off again. Okay, in order to bleed it, the way I normally do it, maybe you might have a special tool to bleed it or anything, but the way I recommend you guys do it is basically them two clips, lift them up and push the pipe in. You'll see it'll click, first click. Okay, once it clicks on the first click, what you do is wait till the fluid comes out, or you get inside it, get somebody to pump the clutch, make sure the fluid comes out, and then when the fluid comes out, we lock it up, basically push the pipe in totally, put the clips back on, happy days, job done. Well, that's it guys, all done and dusted. Nissan Qashqai 2011-12 1.6 clutch. We've fitted it and everything. We're just gonna test drive it. All done and dusted. And make sure you double check everything with a strong arm. I know I gunned everything on, but make sure you double check everything with a strong arm. Make sure it's tight. Tighten the wheels up and everything. I didn't show you guys how to put the wheel on, but yeah, wheel on and everything, all the top done, everything in reverse order basically. So I hope this video helps you guys out. If it didn't help you guys out, I'm sorry. Tried my best. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button for me. Leave a comment in the comment section. Raul TV, Team R4UL. Not feeling the best, struggling, in pain and everything, but struggling for you guys. See you guys next time.